Hi all, alcohol and isolation. I want to talk about when I drank, maybe you're the same. I tend to be quite withdrawn when I got into the addictive state of it really. I've always been quite a happy chap, still am. I'm now and I'm sober and very sociable, that sort of thing. But when I was drinking a lot, I tend to be withdrawn, quiet, lost my confidence, very anxious about things, and became quite a nervous soul again, really, like I was as a child. And I'm talking, 40s and 50s here, years old, where I should have been really strong. I was when I was off the drink. And funny enough, people ask me about anxiety, do I still have it? No, I don't. As soon as I get sober, the anxiety just diminishes to zero again. I got my confidence back. But what I mean by isolation is you tend to hide away a little bit when you're drinking. The only people you'll associate with are other drinkers. You lose your real friends in a way, and you gain these people in the pub. Now, I've got a group of people I know who sit in the same place every day. I've done for years, apparently. And I got to know them, and they're isolated within their own group because people look upon them as, well, they're not doing anything with their lives, really. Maybe it's not their fault, I don't know, but they've had a chance to stop or cut down, but they won't. Maybe they don't want to, I don't know. But when I was drinking heavy, I was afraid of answering calls from my parents, my daughter, any relatives, obviously checking up with me, because they knew I relapsed into heavy drinking again. So when I was sober, I was fine. 2014, I started drinking again, and very soon after I started drinking again, after a long period of sobriety, I was back to drinking full time. And people notice, especially people who are close to you. And then you start to think, well, I went to answer the call, I can't go there, I can't pick anybody up, I couldn't drive, so I just used to leave the car, rode away on the driveway. I didn't go anywhere, I didn't use the train, the bus, I couldn't do anything, I didn't fly, I didn't go anywhere. Between 2014 and 2019, when I was hospitalised, it was 5 years going nowhere, other than getting a taxi to the local high street and to get more supplies and to get Dial and Drink to drop me some more off. I didn't actually go anywhere other than the pub and the off license or the corner shop. So I was totally isolated, wasn't I? And when I was in the flat on my own, I used to be just so down, depressed, and the feeling of guilt, and why did I start drinking again? Why did I relapse? And how come my life's changed so much and it's become so bad? And you start to feel a bit of self-pity. You shouldn't really. And then you get into this cycle of, can I get out of this? And you become more and more isolated. And I had problems in the flat with heating and boiler needed fixed, and I couldn't bear anyone coming into the apartment. So I didn't even have any contact with the outside world really, other than my little trip to the pub. And as I said, I'd see the same 3 or 4 people every day. The odd time I used to see relatives, but I was so quiet, I wasn't myself. It took my personality away, to be honest. And I just became a shell, really, an empty shell of desperation, anxiety and paranoia. And as I said, even the little group that you have, you're isolated from everybody else. And it's something to watch that, because when you get isolated, that's when you get depressed. Now, on a more serious subject, a lot of male suicides revolve around alcohol abuse and heavy drinking in general. It's something to watch. If you get these feelings, contact somebody, ring somebody, because don't sit there alone like I did, because I nearly lost my life. I didn't realise how ill I was. I should have got more help earlier. But being me, and maybe like a lot of people who are watching this, oh, I'll be fine, I can't get out of it, I can't give up. All I do is just sit and drink and hope tomorrow's better, but it doesn't get any better. It gets worse and worse. So I'm down in Manchester at the moment, seeing my daughter now. I didn't move really. I didn't get on any transport from 2014 to 2021. There was 7 years going nowhere. In 2021, I was still in a wheelchair. Sort of during and slightly after COVID, because I was just going back and forth to hospital in patient transport ambulances to have fluid drained off, ascites fluid and all this sort of thing. So for me, it's a big turnaround. 2.5, 3 years, I've got myself out and about. I've been on holiday, I've flown, I walk, I run, I go to the gym. It's amazing how I've turned it around. You can do the same. That's what I'm here to do. Try to inspire you to do it. Because there is no opening there. There is hope. But you have to be tough on yourself. And you have to have a plan of action for you. You've got to get out of this isolation mode. When you get sober, A lot of people say they get bored. This is dangerous, this. I get bored. There's nothing more boring than being in hospital when the doctor's saying you might not live past next month, okay? Don't get bored, there's lots to do. It doesn't cost you anything to go for a walk. Get yourself a second-hand pedal bike, do something. Even if you're not feeling too fit to do something. A doctor once told me there's 2 things you should do when you're not well, and you won't want to do them. And that's exercise and eat. Get yourself some exercise. Join a class. I even joined a cookery class. So now I'm a bit of a chef. You know, do something with your time. I got my old guitar back, and now I'm sober. I'm so busy, I don't know how I had time to drink. If you add up all the hours that you spent going to the pub and more hours in the pub, in the off license, being anxious, trying to get supplies, and then recovering. You know, some people say, oh, I had a good drink last night, it's going to take me 3 days to get over it. Even in the early days, when you're fit and young, it takes you so long to get over a heavy session, doesn't it? People plan their drinking around the weekend. I better not have too much on Thursday when I work Friday, but finish Friday early, and then I can have a load on Saturday and Sunday. Then on Sunday you get the fears and, oh, I've got to go to work and all that sort of thing. Why do millions of people, especially in the UK, plan their whole life around alcohol? It's the most dangerous drug there is, the most widely available, and the only one I'm aware of where you can die from withdrawing from it. So there's all these factors in it, and you become so introverted and so frightened of things. You're frightened of opening letters, you're frightened to answer the door if anybody ever knocks on the door. You're frightened of every noise, you become very tense, you're not aware of your own being. It's a weird feeling. It's like an out-of-body experience. Obviously I hadn't had one of them, but you become detached from reality. And then as you get further in isolation, you become more like a hermit, really. And in the last few weeks before I actually got hospitalised, I rarely went out, and I was just getting this booze delivered. And I had so much of it in my cupboard. There was slabs and slabs of lager, Stella lager, which never got drunk. I think my dad sold it off. Bless him, he died 3 years ago. At least he saw me sober for a while, which is a blessing in disguise. But isolation is a terrible thing. Loneliness. And it doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't need to be like that. Because if you're younger than me, maybe, even if you're older, if you get yourself out and about, get some help, do something. If you just sit there, like I did, for 5 years and do nothing, the chances are you're going to end up with a very, very short life. So I'm very lucky to be here. And I feel blessed every day I wake up. I've got a great life now. I've got a girlfriend now. I've got a better car. I've got some more cash to spend it all on booze. I can travel, I can go to the gym. Obviously I'm not as fit as I was when I was 25, nobody is. But I've got my life back. I'm not isolated anymore. I'm happy. I'm aware of what's going on around me. I'm interested in current affairs. I've got lots of holidays planned. You need to be more positive. I wasn't positive enough when I was in the throes of it all. There is a glimmer of hope there. Never give up, that's what I'm trying to say. Never give up. If you benefit from the channel, please subscribe and share it. Any comments you want to make, drop me a line, of course, and have a good night. I'll speak to you soon.